Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin is upfront about what she's doing. She's trying to lure Illinois-based companies to move jobs to her state. Fallin's selling points: a recent income tax cut, a balanced budget, and a pro-business legislature. Governor Fallin's in our Washington bureau this morning. Governor, welcome to In Business. You've already got one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country. Why should businesses move to Oklahoma?
Well, we get a great story to tell in Oklahoma. You know, I think a lot of people around America are very concerned about our nation, where our nation's going, the direction our nation's going, the partisan gridlock that we see in Washington, the debt, the deficit. Certainly, we've been watching the stock markets. But in Oklahoma, you know, we're really focusing on jobs, the economy, things that people are concerned about, the pocketbook issues, trying to get our fiscal house back in order. And those are things that I think have made Oklahoma attractive to business. We've had one of the most historic pro-business legislative session addressing issues that are of concern to people who are investing money in a state, focusing on lawsuit reform, workers' compensation insurance reform, education, raising academic standards, even our pension systems, making sure that they're in good physical shape also. So we're doing the things that we think are attractive to business, focusing on emerging technologies. I'm here in Washington, D.C. at the Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Convention. I've been to the International Wind Turbine Convention, you know, things like that.
Well, you recently were in Illinois, and you're trying to lure Blue Cross, Navistar, Aconia. Those are some of the companies you talked to. Have you had any success in getting commitments to move business to Oklahoma?
Well, we have. We've got several companies that are looking at major expansions. Of course, Boeing just moved one of their divisions from California into Oklahoma. And of course, our business climate is so good right now with the low cost of living, low cost of housing. We certainly have a lot of land, water, lower cost of utilities, a strong workforce, and those are all things that are attractive, especially when you're in an economy where they may be facing budget challenges in their state government. And you know, you mentioned me going to Illinois and Chicago. They raised taxes recently. We cut our taxes in Oklahoma. Those are things people are looking for from a business standpoint.
You're in Washington on a day when we are hearing that the president is planning to announce a new economic plan in September. Ask for more federal cuts, also ask for more short-term stimulus. In the past, you've been very critical of the president's health care plan and refused some of the aid that came with that. Are there parts of a future stimulus plan that you would also decline? I mean, what does Oklahoma need from the federal government right now?
Well, I'll tell you this, as a governor, one of the things that we look at when Washington says we're here to help you in a state is that we typically find that some of those stimulus plans or things they may be proposing to a state may have strings attached, or they may have unfunded mandates, or they may have what we call a cliff, where they ramp up spending and they send certain programs or spending programs to a state, then all of a sudden that funding ends, but they still expect that state to have that program. And those are things that governors have to watch out for. Certainly, I have supported in the past funding for more infrastructure in our nation, things that will really help stimulate our economy, do with our infrastructure needs in our nation. But you know, anytime I hear that Congress is going to, or the federal government or the Obama administration is going to start a new program at a time when our nation is worried about the debt, the deficit, and certainly our marketplaces have been concerned about that too. That really concerns me. You know, my hope is that Congress will get serious about curbing our spending, reducing our spending, getting our fiscal house back in order in Washington, D.C.
So the only thing you would support is the more infrastructure spending, not payroll tax holiday, none of that. You don't need that. You don't want it?
Well, if we're going to cut some of the taxes, I'm all for that. I'm certainly not for increasing taxes. You know, we cut our income tax in the state of Oklahoma and balanced our budget all at the same time while prioritizing our spending. And I think Washington can do that same thing.
All right. Governor, good luck. Thank you very much for joining us today.